Damien Mizdow, Damien Sandow, around this time a year ago, actually a year ago today, or a year ago next week, he cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, lost to John Cena, and he's been a jobber ever since. But in the last couple of months, and I was over at your house, John, when he made his debut as Damien Mizdow, and I'm thinking, wow, this is really dumb, but he's made it into something really entertaining every single week. So, RJ, I ask you first, do you think that he's making the most of this gimmick? Do you think he's going to stick with it for the very near future? And do you think they might kind of transition into a Mizdow feud at some point in time after what happened last night on Raw?
Obviously, I feel like he's doing the best he can with the feud. It's kind of like Cody Rhodes doing the best Stardust gimmick.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
what it is, your job. He's working. He's got to make the character stick. He does. I love how he impersonates The Miz during the matches. He does exactly what happens. It's actually pretty funny. I think he obviously wants to be in a bigger role than he is, obviously. I don't think anyone wants to be someone's stunt double or sidekick. They want to be the main event, obviously. But I feel like he's doing as best he can now. He's getting over with the fans. I hope he doesn't go back to the old his old gimmick. I feel like that's kind of in the past. Can't really go back to that. Yes, but I feel like they could work to a Mizdow feud if he keeps getting over. The Miz keeps getting mad. He beat Sheamus. Maybe the Miz loses Sheamus again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mizdow says, "Oh, I beat Sheamus." They kind of brags about it, and then they kind of feud. I could see a feud like that. But like I said, after the Mizdow character, where does the Damien Sandow character evolve to next? Is the bigger question out of the whole thing. But I would like to see it something fresh, a new feud, be a reasonable feud for a reason. I'd like to see it. I like the character, how he's getting over now, and that's pretty much it about Damien Mizdow.
People often make the comparison with Damien Sandow earlier on in his career to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. How I'm not saying Damien Sandow's the next Triple H, but and like you said before,
he can't terrible gimmick and kind of work with it.
Exactly. He can't go back to what he was before. But if he can kind of become maybe more rebellious or the D-Generation X kind of Triple H, he's not showing his ass every single week. He doesn't need to do that, but a little more edgy, I guess you could say, for Damien Sandow. He did that about a year ago after he lost to John Cena in an awesome match. He showed some more character development, but then after that, they made him job so much that it lost all meaning, and he hadn't really gone anywhere since. But, John, I know even dating back to 2 years ago when you and I were doing Save Us GSM, I remember you were never really the biggest Damien Sandow fan, so I'm really interested to get your thoughts on this. Are you a fan of the Damien Mizdow character? Do you see it going places, and do you think Damien Sandow is more capable of what he's being given right now?
I really enjoy the concept of Miz having a stunt double. I thought that was great. In a business and an industry, when you think you've seen it all, that's something that when it first debuted, I was like, wow, I've never seen that. That is great. Miz has a stunt double. How cheap is that? But so when I first saw the concept, I was down with it. I dug it. But currently, I'm just one of those people who's not huge on Damien Sandow. I think he's doing the best he can with what he's given. And Booking 101 states that, Sandow turns face at the end of all this, has a feud with Miz, goes over, and then, he's a solid baby face. It's Booking 101 right there. But for what he's given, Sandow's doing all right. And to make a comparison, I know people said he's Triple H's a project, but for you to say, you gotta turn the gear into DX Triple H next. That's a little out there, Graham.
It's a bold statement, I know.
I like what he's doing. I like it a lot better than being the savior of the unwashed masses.
What I'm hoping they do is that he continues to get over, and like you said before, maybe they have Miz turn on him, or maybe vice versa even, and then he goes on to become a solid babyface. But the only problem here that I might foresee is that it goes back to the Miz and Alex Riley from a couple years ago, when Alex Riley was the Miz's lackey. He turned on Miz. Remember, people were chanting his name that night. He was one of the most over guys at that point in time.
How'd he do?
Alex Riley, that's exactly it. They had a good feud, but after he went over on the Miz, and the Miz, a win over the Miz in 2014 is not the same as it was in 2011. But even still, though, I don't think, with Alex Riley, he was doing so well that year, that after that breakup with the Miz, and he beat him and all this other kind of great stuff, and then they did nothing with him. He just faded off in obscurity, and that's what I'm fearful with Damien Sandow. They're thinking, okay, he's making the most of this gimmick. He's not supposed to be getting cheered, so let's punish him for it. I don't know how likely that is. It's just a scenario here. And then they just have Miz turn on him, and they abandon the gimmick, and that's it. And Damien Sandow's off TV for how many months, whatever. So I don't want to say that's going to happen, but it's just a thought. I don't really want to see Damien Sandow Off TV, I want to see him get over with this gimmick, abandoning it, and then go on to do better things. I'm not saying he's going to be a world champion, but he is capable of bigger and better things in WWE.